Welcome to Breaking Traction Podcast. I'm Justin.
I'm Brandon.
I'm Mike.
Today is the LS Fest East recap. We just got back. We've been back almost a week, and we're going to drop this for you, let you know how everything went. Well, first of all, did you have a good time, Mike?
Yeah.
Did you have a good time?
Oh, yeah.
Have you ever had a bad time at LS Fest?
No.
Not even when it rains.
But in the great words of Jimmy Day, if you ever see this, Jimmy, this is for you, buddy. If you're not having a good time, go see Jimmy Day, and he'll make sure you do have a good time.
There you go. Let's jump right into this recap. We're going to do this individually.
Individually.
Yeah, because you have a different perspective. You were doing your thing. You have a different perspective. You were doing your thing. And I have my fanboy first-timer perspective. I did that just for you. I guess.
Individually as a group.
All the fanboys,
Individually as a
listen,
group.
This is not fanboy racism.
No, we love you.
He loves you.
We. This is a team effort.
Why you just look at me?
Because look at that.
Who would want to look this way?
Tell you what, I'll get started. So it was my first time at LS Fest. First time. I've avoided it for 10 years. Whatever.
You've avoided it?
No, that's just a way of saying.
Ollie, you
You gave me crap for a year.
That's my way of saying I wasn't cool enough to go without saying I wasn't cool enough
Hold
to
on,
go.
hold on, stop. Is he cool enough then? No question. He's
It's
going fairly.
touch and go.
About like our arm across. I was touching that wall. I was trying to go.
He said, why are my times keep changing?
Why am I so inconsistent?
So being there as a fan, as a non-racing driver, or having a vehicle in the show. That's what I was there as.
Strictly a spectator.
I was there as a spectator. I was videoing and helping out when and where I was needed, which was not much.
The big crew chief.
I am the crew chief for...
I'm going to tell you, I wish, we actually have a video of it. I want you all to look at how awesome that cowboy hat is he's wearing.
Yeah, the cowboy hat you guys will love. If you don't hate. That's all I got. For family friendly.
Yes.
So, let's see. That was the biggest. I take that back. It's right there, possibly the biggest. I went to a lot of good guys and stuff when I was younger, which is a big crowd.
Hold on, you're telling me the good guys.
I'm saying when I was young. I don't remember. I just remember as a young man, it was like a Super Bowl of hot rods.
As a kid, everything's big, though.
Right.
Including the cars.
Ayo. So, the biggest event, I'm pretty sure there wasn't 30, 40,000 people at any of the good guys I went to. The biggest event I've ever been to, the only thing I have to compare it to is some good guys events from back in the day.
That's not bad.
It was insane. Even Friday when I got there, and it's not full capacity, not rolling wide open. I was a little overwhelmed just Friday. Getting in, and which, because I was a crew chief, I got to park in the trailer parking, but just getting in there, and then that initial when you pull in, and you figure, what's a rough percentage you think you would say of people that actually trailer there versus driving in? It's probably a quarter.
More. I would say half
More.
and half.
So 50% of the vehicles there were trailered in, we'll say. And you see the sea of trucks and trailers. And it's just trucks and trailers when you pull in, but there's a sea. Not to mention all the cool shit you see in line going in when you're sitting there waiting. It was kind of overwhelming. I had no idea where to go. Mike was actually on the autocross course when I got there. So I had to sit there for a few minutes. I was waiting on him to come get me and guide me through the chaos. And it was overwhelming. I'm glad I had that few minutes to just kind of sit there in my truck and be like, holy shit, this is what's up. walking through the campground and everything, the amount of campers and cars, cool cars, the ones that were passing me, like I had the camera out and I was just like freaking out, looking around everywhere.
You almost need like just cameras.
Right, like a body thing. The racing, the autocross. Unfortunately, I didn't get to really go over to the drag strip. But
I got some videos of it. Don't worry.
the autocross racing was phenomenal. Both of you all were in the Hurst group, so I didn't really get to see any of the Holly group, but phenomenal. The Hooker, that's right. The variety of vehicles, anything and everything I could have imagined being LS swapped was there and swapped. But the variety of vehicles that was racing, not just the show, was insane. The first time I'd ever seen drifting in person. That's
an experience.
I will say, I never really paid much attention to drifting. Like I thought it was cool that dudes can control the cars doing that, but as far as like a competitive deal, I don't. I'm just now getting an understanding of how the competition works.
I'm glad you do because I still feel like
I got
voodoo magic.
ounces, but I never understood it. And I was kind of like, well, they'd be going faster if they wasn't doing that, like racing. But seeing it in person, seeing the cars, talk about swaps. I mean, freaking 240s, anything.
The Monte Carlo was my favorite car. Like I have some favorites out there, but seeing the Monte Carlo out there, that was
right.
Oh,
I mean, those things, the like hardcore drift guys.
They had a Smokey and the Bandit.
Yeah,
Trans Am.
Those cars are beat up. Those dudes thrash those cars. Like those guys are hardcore. That was cool. Seeing the Brat, Travis Pastrana's car, just seeing these cars and stuff that you've seen in magazines, you've seen on the internet, you've seen on TV. That was pretty cool.
Well, meeting the people too.
Right.
I mean, I don't know how many of them you got to meet, but I mean, Pastrana set his car on fire.
Right.
And literally rode past us, and like we got to meet him down there in the Holly booth, and dude, he was. I'm pointing like we're there right now.
Right. He's right over there.
Yeah, he's right there. No, but like, dude, he is just as chill in person as you think. I mean, I shouldn't say Travis Pastrana chill because the guy, he's like a pinball. You know what I mean? But dude's a nice, like, super nice dude.
And I didn't meet anybody when we walked by the Holly tent. I guess it was the Holly tent is where Finnegan was.
He's beside it.
Yeah, right there next to it. And there was several people, and from what I saw, he was taking his time, having conversations, but we had to go get food, and he had to race again, so I wasn't trying to stand in line. Overall, I mean, I will say, I think overall, once I kind of got over the shock, I mean, I still probably didn't see half the stuff there, in 2 days.
We'll have to fact check again, but it was like 2,600 cars.
Right.
And over 60,000 spectators and racers and crew and what have you.
Right. Well, that's one good thing Mike brought up when we were going from Beach Bend to NCM was on that weekend, it's pretty cool and kind of hilarious. Like he said, damn near any car you see in Bowling Green that weekend could be LS swapped.
Yeah. You don't you can't just pull up anything and think you're going to run stoplight to stoplight with it because it could be something so off the wall and not even sound like it's hitting a lick.
Right.
But as soon as they hit the cutouts on that thing and it takes off, when it turns green, it's on.
And that's the thing, in this day and time, is a lot of the stuff there is not just swapped. It's built to the gills or it's freaking twin turboed. There's insane amount of power. If you put together all the horsepower that was in there this weekend.
It seemed like everything was LSA supercharged.
Right.
Yeah. I've never seen so many superchargers and turbo kits in my life.
Right.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
I almost woke up and was like, we're a beach fan. I'm sorry.
Pinch me.
As close as we can get.
Yeah, as close as we can get so far.
that's
Overall, you had a good time.
I had a great time.
You had a good time. Great time.
I did.
You plan on going back?
Yes, I will be back.
As a spectator or as a participant?
I will be there as a participant sometime. I'm currently crisscrossed and confused and
We don't need to talk about this.
on my projects.
Okay.
I have one project and one potential project, and we'll see what goes. I will be there eventually. Whether
I like how he slid that sometime.
next year maybe, year after that, better chance. We'll see what happens. So I give it an A plus. So Brandon, you were racing and spectating.
I was trying to race. I don't know if I call that racing.
You were a competitor.
There we go. Let me there. I think I would offend most of the racers out there if I said I was a competitor at this point.
So let's your recap of LS Fest 2023.
Man, like you said, Friday. That was probably one of the busiest Fridays I've seen in most of the LS Fest I've been to. Most on Friday, you got people there, spectators, crowds, things like that, but most of the time it's kind of like I wouldn't say our relaxed day, but it's our more chill day of the three. But, I mean, there was people everywhere as soon as we pulled in, Friday.
Right.
And then Saturday, the circus of people coming in. Well, even Thursday, this Thursday, you were mentioning the trucks and like campers and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It took some people almost over 3 hours to get through the line, and that's like nobody's complaining about like Holly staff or anything. It's just a tight quarter, and there's a lot of big trucks and trailers, a lot of people trying to get into the same place, so it's like a funnel effect, like single lane.
Yeah.
It just takes time. Goes back to the second podcast, which if you haven't watched it, you should go watch it. Patience, man, just patience getting into it.
And that's a good point you brought up. It's not the staff and law enforcement. It's a 2-lane road if you've never been there going in.
Yeah.
And when I came in on Friday, they had it 3/4 of it. They had it set up as 2-lane, one direction, and they were diverting the outcoming traffic down another road. There's no possible way I don't think they could do it better.
No, I don't. I think that this year I think each year the staff learns. I think they hear from the people on the internet because, man, people on the internet. But, I mean, when you got that many competitors, and you got that many spectators, and kids, and families, and golf carts, and, bicycles, and pit bikes, and when you got that much stuff going on in one place, like, nothing's gonna flow 100% smoothly. But
think about going to your local track, whether it be dirt track, drag strip, round track, whatever. Think about about trying to transport in and out tens of thousands of people. I guarantee you it's not going to run smooth.
In a couple hours.
Right.
In a matter of, like, most of the crowd is between, I'd say, 9 to 10 o'clock and, 1 o'clock? That's most of the people coming in, not going out, but that's Saturday. We'll say Saturday's the biggest day. I mean, it can take an hour to get to it. But, I mean, besides moving on past all that stuff, like racing with everybody, man, the amount of cars and trucks and the level of competition is ridiculous. And I didn't know how much faster the guys could get just in the truck class, and every year it never disappoints, man. Like, the amount of speed some of these guys are carrying through these short courses is ridiculous. Ridiculous. I mean, there's some guys, their trucks will do, 70, 80 miles an hour in first gear. And that's on a course that's not meant to take that kind of speed whatsoever. I'm not saying, but I mean, even like the vet guys, not even just the vet guys, but some of the guys in the older Camaros, And there was new generation crowd everywhere. The ZL1s, all those. Like, dude, everybody just seemed like they were ripping this year. I mean, just, if it wasn't a new build, it was some kind of freshly redone something,
Right.
and that they had dialed in. You know what I mean?
Right.
Me, I did absolutely terrible. I had a lot of fun. I had no tires left after the first day.
Well, so I interviewed you, which that'll be available in socials and Ship Trash Media to be in the full video. You said those are 2-year-old tires.
Yeah, yeah. Honestly, I gotta tell you, people, it's hard. I don't get to race nearly as much as a lot of our competitors that are out there. And it shows too, because those guys, there's some guys that I just started racing at either the shootout or at LS Fest last year. And and we said it in the first podcast, just that 1 year of seat time in a truck and the multiple events of watching them, like, these guys are not shaving hundreds of seconds, they're shaving seconds.
Right.
You know, and not just one, like, we're talking 2-3 seconds. When last year they were way further back. So, to watch the level of competition grow, and now to see the amount of support, I don't think I've ever seen more support than I have this year in the vendor booth for the autocross side of it. Like, most of the time, everybody's glued into the drag racing side of it. But, I mean, Quick Performance, those guys are running out helping Hunter with his rear end in the cam route. You know, Brian Tooley Racing, all those guys were trying to help guys get their stuff squared away if they needed anything. Mighty Mouse, HP Tuners, like, everybody was, like, all over the place. It's growing quickly. And you can tell because, like I said, going back to the competition, the level of trucks, just in the truck class alone, I mean, you were watching some of the trucks just wear out some of the cars. That typically does not happen.
I'm not going to lie, I was highly surprised at the amount of trucks that were racing.
That's the biggest truck class I've ever seen. I mean, Sunday when we were all convened in the grid for the speed stop challenge, man, it almost looked like there was more trucks than there was cars. I know you had to leave early, and you had to leave early too, and the amount of vehicles, I don't know if they upped the amount of people who can Grand Champion autocross and all that stuff, but I've never had a problem before parking in the grid area on Sunday, and there was no room for anybody to park. I mean, there were 3, 4, 5 guys who were parking on the outside of the grid just because, I mean, the class was so big.
Right.
I mean, it was incredible. Absolutely incredible. I'm excited for next year. I've definitely got to build something that can keep up, because the class of vehicles that these guys are building now in other shops, and I own a shop, and I'm giving these guys all the respect in the world. The class of vehicles that they're building, the horsepower, a lot of it is driver and comfort in the truck too, but I'm just talking about the overall build. To see what these guys are doing with vehicles, they're not supposed to be doing this.
Right.
Man, it's impressive. It's really impressive. It makes me excited now all over again,
Right.
So, overall, my experience was a A+ for sure. Very fun. Very fun.
That's another thing that you're saying. So, if you listen to the first or the second podcast, and especially the first one, we really drove home about autocross growing and trucks and the pro touring style trucks growing. Yeah. If you were there, you have to agree with this point. You saw it. It was firsthand.
The amount of people coming up, and that was something really cool too. Like, we talked about on the first podcast, the people coming up and, talking to the drivers, and we're talking like grown-ass men, little kids, families. This is the first time I'd had several, like, kids, anywhere from 13 to 16, come up and like ask me a whole bunch of questions I have, you know, 'cause they do. To see a nostalgic vehicle out there doing that kind of stuff, it's cool, man. It just is. But everybody, it seemed like, had some sort of fan base. It was really cool. It was cool to watch.
Right.
You know, not only as a competitor, but as a spectator, too.
Right.
You know.
Oh, yeah. Michael?
I should have went first.
Sorry, man.
I can't top that.
We
Sorry,
can
man.
talk a little more about your truck, about how everything went. You had some fans. You had people tell you
Thank you.
the truck was cool.
Yeah, a couple. There's 4 or 5 of them out there that like it.
That's right. Speaking of nostalgia, 1952.
I mean, I know of at least 2 people I've seen hugging.
Yeah.
I like the truck so much they hug me. I
They
guess.
liked him so much they gave him a big old bear hug.
If you're one of the people that gave Mike a hug, hats off to you. You made his weekend.
Yes. Yes.
They were quality hugs.
Quality hugs.
Felt like they, you know, had a good
No, it was a good time. Definitely gonna keep going. That was like my 11th LS Fest, I think, and definitely plan on racing. The only part about racing is you don't get to see a whole lot of it. You know, if you're just walking, you can walk around for 2 or 3 days and get to see it all and see how big it is. It's really nice, but racing really puts a damper on that. But
I mean, would you say it was a hair hectic? But I feel like compared to other events, the timing and the time in between runs, the time you had from like when you were done at Beach Bend so you had to go to NCM, I felt like that was pretty good.
Yeah, they gave you plenty of time to move from one event to the other, and plenty of time in between runs for your, you know, motors cool down and stuff. I had a problem with that at the shootout. Got a little warm. Yeah, no, it was done well. There's just so much going on and so many people everywhere. You know, you got to be on your game coming off the course every time because there's liable to be a kid running in front of you or something like that. You know, but
And they're just excited to see you.
Oh, yeah.
Just excited.
Yeah,
to
right.
I don't blame them.
Yeah.
I don't blame them. You know, it's just the nature of the beast.
Right.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, how'd you do? How'd the truck do?
It did all right. I think the truck has more in it. I need the seat time, and it'll come around.
I mean, I did beat him. But
You,
Hey,
pure love.
you, pure skill.
so you're saying the only reason he beat you was skill, not equipment?
Man, turbo might have helped a little bit, but mostly skill, I would say. I mean, we could swap sometime and see what happens. That'd be
I
fun
don't
to
know,
find
man.
out.
I don't want the leg pump you had from the brakes. Yeah, truck.
Yeah, I got to do something about that. Brakes are terrible. And terrible brakes don't make a good autocross vehicle.
The new tires look like they help a lot, though.
Yeah, the tires grip real well.
Yeah, you had good tires, and I had something. I had rubber underneath that. I don't know. But they were too.
Technically, they're tires.
Almost petrified.
I'm pretty sure flakes of them were coming off.
Your tires were in the vintage class. Your truck was in the
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I'm doing. I think I would have been better with the Goodyear slicks off of NASCAR.
How would you rate the courses? There's 2 courses set up.
Yeah, we didn't talk about that.
Yeah.
They were fun. As far as which one I liked best, I might have liked the NCM. It was a little more wide open.
That's what I was going to say. From the outside looking in, not being in a vehicle, Beach Bend looked extremely looked technical, and NCM looked more high speed, more flowy.
Well, I think, yes, yeah, 100% I agree there, but also, too, like, I don't know if they do this on purpose, but, like, at Beach Bend, you've only got so much room to run.
Right.
You know, there's a wall around you. As soon as you pull into the starting gate, you're inside a wall. But at NCM, I like to believe that it's so they let us, let us stretch our legs, I guess you would say,
Right.
because we're cooped up in our vehicles all weekend. Obviously we're not going to go out and street race. But I feel like they do that on purpose to allow us to really just kind of have fun because there's no crowd at NTM really.
Right.
There's no bleachers, there's no nothing. It's more for the racers at that point.
The best of both worlds, really, because you get to go to NCM and kind of be by yourself with other racers
Yeah.
and take it easy and go fast on the course. And then at Beach Bend, you get all the crowd, and that's fun too. It's a different fun, but it's still fun.
That makes a bunch of sense. So yeah, I mean, I liked watching you guys at NCM. Because I didn't have to fight my way up there. Like I could walk right up to the guardrail, on the parking lot side. And B, you guys looked a lot more, at least you all and Hunter and Big Mike looked a lot more, the guys I was there with, so to speak, looked a lot more flowy out there. But reviewing like some of the onboard footage that I got off of y'all's trucks, Beach Bend looked technical.
It was tight. I wouldn't say it was really tight because they did spread the course out. But it is more, in that situation, for somebody who's got really good low end torque,
right?
And it, can really dig in the first year,
right?
You can, and some of those guys like in the vets and they were taking the course in second gear just because first year they were ripping tires off.
Yeah.
So, but yeah. So it was a mix between both. I
think it was a good quality mix. It wasn't like you said, the best of both worlds.
The Beach Bend course, we've run that course the same way the last 3 years.
Really?
Why they do it that way, I don't know. I'm not complaining. It's still a fun course no matter what. But they run that the last 3 years in a row. But like NCM, I don't know if it was the same. It might have been from last year, but it may be in reverse. We were running it in reverse, but it was a fun course too. You know what I mean?
This is something. Did you do the track X at all? Did you?
I did. I did on Saturday,
and I know I think Hunter did it.
Oh, Hunter did it a bunch.
How was that? I didn't even go over there and get to see.
Man, it's always fun. Even with. In my situation, even with, not a lot of tread left on the tires, because I tried to save track X as much as possible, because, literally, I wanted to save as much grip as I could, even though I had no chance of winning, I still wanted to try to do better. But track X, man, it's such a fun time, because it's just you and the vehicle at that point.
Right.
You can't even see anybody in front of you or behind you. When you're on that track, it's just you and the vehicle. Whatever speed you feel like you can take it, however hard you want to push it, it's a cool feeling to be out there. And it's almost like kind of a break. Right. Technically, it's just a break at high speed.
Right. That makes sense. Takeaways. From this year to next year, what's your biggest goal racing-wise?
Mike, what's your biggest goal?
Get better brakes.
Here's a good question for you, the man of many projects.
I agree.
Next year, do you think, what's your plan? You planning to take the 52 again, or you thinking you might take something else?
If at all possible, I'm going to take something else.
And what would that be?
I'm hoping my Camaro. Instead of Camaro.
Sell
Trucks are fun.
Sold us out.
Camaros are my thing.
Maybe I can sign a waiver and do a rent and take the Ford.
That might be possible. That's a long ways away too. Who knows?
Brandon, what's your? Ooh,
man, honestly, I put the gauntlet down on myself. I really, after seeing the trucks, the classification of, the racers, competition, all that stuff, I really want to finish finish my race truck. And not the one that I'm racing.
Right.
I want to finish my Blazer.
There you go. You might be able to rent it. The white
The
truck.
white truck.
Actually, believe it or not, my wife says she wants to
Well, darn it.
Mackenzie says she wants to drive the white truck next year.
Oh, yeah.
Which is great because my wife, if she goes with me to damn near every event,
Right.
I would love. She's raced a couple SCCA events and she's run some laps at some of the adrenaline series with autocross guys. But she acts like she wants to do it, so possibly at the shootout next year, that'll be her first ever event.
We always
at the
need
shootout.
more people in the crew.
Yeah. Oh, dude, she's competitive too, man. I promise you. She'll talk shit with the best of them.
She was all nice at the shoot. At
She's as sweet as she can be.
Next year we'll be like,
Yeah, she will absolutely talk shit on all of us. And don't let her win, because if she does, you'll never hear the end of it.
I better not even race that.
I'm gonna sit
Honestly, I'm kind of scared myself. I can screw up and break one run and her just dust my ass.
You'll never live that one down if that happens. Be eating dinner. Hey, remember that time I beat you?
I'll never leave that. Yeah, she'll be asking me to be like, you do the dishes. You clean my house yet? That's funny.
Let's
What
get
about you?
What about me? Well, of course, money is always issues. Then the other issue is, out of my two projects, neither of them have an LS, nor do I have an LS.
Well, let's walk for cheap, right?
Yeah.
I keep hearing that.
Right,
That's what they say.
That's what they say. LS One Tech Forum says that all the time.
I mean, you got it your way, anything can happen. It's kind of, at this point in my mind, it's kind of a 50-50 shot. It could be the Sierra. It might be a Ford Fairlane with an LS in it. We don't know. We don't know. We're seeing.
How about this? If we take away from the LSS, what's your goal for next racing? Actually, right?
You're not gonna like this.
What do I know?
Yeah. All right. You might not dislike it, but you're gonna give me so much shit.
I do that anyway.
Right. So you know what? It's all
He does
it's
too.
all the
He
same.
just, you don't get to
Yeah,
see
you
it.
guys
I
don't
promise,
see
he's
the-
just as
the
bad
full
as I
light.
am.
I kind of re-fell in love with the Fairlane. You know, it's set for like a year. And
How many doors are on
there's 4 doors. And let me tell you something. This is where I'm at with this.
Oh, God.
Part of the cool thing about like LS Fest, or, you know, any event you go to, you see something different.
I mean, there was a wagon out there, LS, I think.
So a good point too is it's the same wheelbase as a 2-door.
Okay.
It's just got 2 extra doors. I kind of re-fell in love with it. I don't think competitive is in the near future, but I think
Fun can be in the near future.
I mean, you got to crawl before you can walk.
I
I
think
mean, look at me.
a couple grand.
Yeah.
I'm not winning nothing.
Me
Right.
neither.
And I'm not
We're having fun.
I'm not that competitive. I am, but I'm not. Like I know what me and the vehicle would be capable of. Like when I was drag racing, which brag race, but like heads up racing, I'm going out first round. Let's do red lights, you know. So I just enjoy it. I think for potentially a couple grand over the next year, or not even the next year, this winter, I think I can have that to where it's at least manageable and safe. Because right now it's manual brakes, drum brakes, manual steering.
I mean, I race on manual brake.
I race on brakes that
Well,
feel like manual brakes.
In my defense, I drove his truck around a little bit this past weekend, and I can't really tell a lot of difference as far as obviously his is going to stop better being disc and power quicker, but as far as the brake feel, I couldn't tell a lot of difference. But
I feel like you shitting on your drunk guy.
I know I love that truck. I do.
You shitting on Goldie.
I think there's a possibility that I have a 4-door Ford Fairlane on a course next year.
Let's lock that in.
Lock that in.
Okay.
I mean, I'll take it just like it is.
September 15th, 2023, he said he was going to be racing on a course next year with Fairlane.
Yeah, next year.
Co-signing.
Yep. There's proof.
Yeah, this is going down in history. Oh shit. Yeah, that's where I'm
And
at.
you all will second this.
Yeah, I still want to do the truck. The issue is, like,
It's expensive to do.
it's expensive, and that is my daily driver. So,
Well, do like I do, race day.
right, racing my way to work.
Yeah. All 2 miles of it.
No, I'm 30 miles.
Well, I'm only 2
Yeah,
miles.
yeah. Let's talk about this. No. So, the truck will get done eventually. That truck's not going anywhere. I love that truck, but I think I got to baby step it up. But speaking of that, since I will not be a winner when I race next year, you guys want to talk about the run through the winners on this?
Yeah.
Give credit where it's due.
Dude,
None of the winners are sitting here. I just want to put that out there.
Justin Peachy and his dad, man. Good Lord.
And I guess he was the overall grand champion, or at least the late model. I think
Yeah.
he was.
It's a bad man right there.
Is it 2007 vet?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so.
I mean, I'm gonna poach his Instagram. There'll be his Instagram handle. There'll be
Yeah, I know he doesn't. He probably doesn't watch this yet, but I mean,
I had
he
no idea.
One day.
maybe one day. No, the dude's fast. I mean, he is. He's fast. And then you got Joe Gregory, won the grand champion in the truck.
Yeah,
That truck's ridiculous.
I remember seeing that truck at the shootout
Yeah.
and like not even paying attention to times at first, just kind of taking that all in because it was the first time. I remember, I actually I love step sides. I know some people are 50-50 on step sides. I love step sides. And I saw that truck. I was like, that thing is freaking fast.
Just by looking at it?
Watching it on the course. No, I looked at it. I was like, I bet that thing's fast.
It all adds up to fast.
Right,
Yeah.
fast.
If it looks good, it's lean, it's mean, that's fast, probably.
Fair enough, probably. You know, faster than anything I own.
I always go by the fuel pump rule.
You
If
gotta-
I can hear the fuel pump, probably quick.
it's gonna do something.
Yeah, it's either gonna make a lot of noise, it's gonna be fast.
Yeah, that truck's ridiculous. He obviously drives it very well.
Yeah, that one's a fully built truck too. Got a no limit chassis on it.
Right.
I mean, Joe's fast, and I mean he's got a C2 Corvette that's ridiculous too. I mean, that dude is fast in almost anything you put him in. So,
Right.
so
Sweet.
to see those two win, both well deserved by far. I was really wanting to see Carroll win with the love, though. I'm partial to that truck, man. I wanted to see him do so good. And he did, dude. He was a phenom this weekend, dude.
Yeah.
But
That's another thing.
I was cheering for you, trust me. If you get to watch this, too, I was cheering for you.
He was on your side.
Yeah. No, I mean, I'm stoked that Joe won. I've talked to Joe several times. He's a nice dude. Him and his dad. His dad, believe it or not, drives a Apex Predator truck built by Finch.
Oh.
And his dad does it all one-handed. He doesn't have an arm. I think it's his right arm. Yeah, his right arm. And dude, he literally runs autocross horses and beats the piss out of people with one arm.
That's impressive.
I mean, bad man. He's a bad man.
Speaking of Finch and staying along the lines of trucks, he was the autocross winner for the truck class, right?
Yeah, yep. Brian Finch again.
Yeah.
Man, that's a fast dude. Chase, man.
I mean, that's a double whammy there. It's a freaking badass truck and then a badass driver.
Well, I did ask him very nicely, along with, I'm sure I'm on the list of about 10,000 other people, but I did ask him if I could be a co-pilot at the Baja. He didn't say no.
That's
He kind of chuckles.
How good are you reading maps really quickly?
Man, I'm good with that.
There we go.
Clearly, I feel like I can talk a lot and talk fast, so I feel like that'd be good, right? I mean,
I think that's pretty much the only requirement.
dude, that is on my bucket list. I want to run. I would love to drive, but I don't think I'm prepared for that skill.
That's a whole other animal.
Yeah, that's a whole other. I mean, I'm just getting into autocross and road racing. Let's hold on now. It's on brakes. But I definitely, dude, even as a passenger, could you imagine doing 100+ off-road at night?
No.
Not during the day.
on rough terrain.
Yeah, rough terrain.
I mean, because they're co-drivers. It's like rally, right? Like they're a navigator too.
Yeah.
I wouldn't. There's no way I would want that pressure of I say the wrong thing and this dude
Get
screws
you
up.
right, confused with your left.
Yeah. Next thing
Yeah,
you know,
and you just total like $100.
flipping end to end, 100 mile an hour in the desert. No, I'm good.
That would suck.
Yeah,
Hard right. I mean, look.
when they start doing 4 doors, I'll be the guy just sitting in the back going, "Oh, this is crazy."
Dude, I would not. Could you imagine? I can't remember the dude's name. Could you imagine being the rally driver for like Ken Block, rest in peace? But could you imagine being the rally or the co-driver?
The navigator.
Dude,
No,
I don't know how you'd say it fast enough.
no.
I mean, let alone you. I guarantee you that guy can't look up because he's scared to death. He just has to.
That's what I was
The whole
gonna say.
time.
You miss a turn because you're going, "Oh shit!"
Dude, like I watched one video of Pastrana and his co-driver flip like 7 times. And this dude is just as chill as he can be, just sitting there holding his paper like no big deal. So like you are experienced at flipping, so
It's a suboptimal.
all I could think of was a Ricky Bobby moment where he's like, "Yep, I'm upside down. That's not good."
Maybe that was a left 4 instead of a 3. Hey, Mike.
Hmm.
Who was the vintage autocross champion?
Cody Puckett.
No, just the autocross champion.
Oh. Christopher Jensen.
Christopher Jensen. And what
I
was he
think that was
driving?
240.
RX-7.
R2. Sorry, Chris.
An 86 RX-7 with an LS in it. Like I said, everything has an LS in it at LS Fest.
That sounds like a fun car.
I bet that is.
Very light,
I mean, obviously it handles well.
obviously.
I know there was and this might be the same guy, and if it is, I'm really sorry. But there was a blue 240 down there, and I know you all didn't get to see it. And I don't know if he broke the record. I hope he did, because man, he was so close. But he would have been the only guy to run a 9-second pass on street tires.
Oh, God.
Hard tires. He ran the Friday night. He ran like a 10:01 on his autocross tires. Because in Grand Champion, you can't change your
Right.
tires to slick. You got to run on what you run on all weekend.
Right.
But yeah, I ran a 10:01.
Hmm.
Dude, that's moving. Moving on a hard tire.
That's a bad cat.
Yeah.
So,
I really hope. We're going to have to look that up. I don't even know if he did that.
Yeah.
Yeah. 9-second pass on a hard tire. And it wasn't like a shitbox 240 either. It was like a.
was it dark blue?
Yes.
I saw that car.
It was probably one of the nicer 240. Because most 240, everybody knows they're drip cars.
Right.
Or what? I'm crazy. A lot of them have been turned into drip cars. They started out as drip cars. But to see that one there in that good shape and run as well as it did, I mean, that thing was a nice ride.
Right.
Nice ride.
You don't see very many of them done nice either. Usually they are drift cars.
Right.
Yeah.
Beat the heck.
Yeah. You could tell this guy definitely taking the time putting, I mean, it looked like he had taken the time putting it together. None of the panels were mismatched or like zip tied together. Like everything was actually mounted.
With bolts?
With ball, it's
Wow.
crazy. The rear bumper was actually on it.
Is it
Those have rear
even,
bumpers?
Yeah.
is it even a race car if it doesn't have at least 2 dozen zip ties?
This thing looked like a race car to me. Both on the drag strip and on the autocross boards, it looked like it was boogie.
The zip ties were just hidden well.
Maybe.
Color match.
Color match.
Color match.
So, also, we have not mentioned yet the grand champion in the vintage division, and that was
Mr. Cody Puckett.
Cody Puckett, and you're gonna love this. What was he driving?
A 70
A
Camaro.
70 Camaro.
Maybe the best car ever created.
I know a guy that
Is it
likes
the
that.
red one?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure on that.
I think it was. Dude, that thing fast, dude. I think that was a UMI car.
I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah, with the big front splitter on it.
Was that the one they called Red Dawn or something like that
I don't know.
back in the day?
there's like,
That was in
I hate to
magazines.
say it, but I paid attention to the truck class so much for the last 3 years that I'm still trying to learn.
Right.
Like the guys in the car side of it. Like right now, the best one I know has got to be Chris Wheatcraft and his split bumper Camaro.
Yep.
I mean, he competed at King of the Mountain and won his class, King of the Mountain.
Right.
So, and I've raced with him. His son is building a pretty cool NBS truck. I'm excited to see him come race too. So.
The NBSs are coming.
Yeah. There's a couple there.
Yeah.
3.
Yeah, I think it's just the time frame. Like, as far as we actually talked about this earlier, is there's a certain level of car that when it's brand new, or down to like 5 years old, you see several of them modified.
Yeah.
Your Camaros, your Mustangs, your Vettes. But then it seems like everything else, it has that downfall time. Like, an NBS truck, most people bought them to work out of them or to just daily drive. Then there's that time when it starts coming up. Like, they get to a certain price point and all that, and people are like, I can make that fast and cool. I think the NBS time is just now starting to.
Man, I don't even know if that's it. I still think the most popular, by far the most popular truck, the most commonly raced road touring truck would be a, 67, 30.
Oh, by far. But you look at prices and availability. OBS is already coming up pretty hard.
Yeah, dude. And the OBSs are running strong this weekend. You had Arnie Gonzalez in Red X. You had Kyle Cochran. I don't know if he has a name for his truck. You had the PSI OBS. You had I can't remember her name, but her and her husband are a team.
The red one?
Yeah, who's sponsored by Detroit Speed. She did awesome too. There was quite a few OBSs getting down. A lot of square bodies too.
Right.
We had a couple of S10s in there, but
I think that time frame is just now touching. I think we're gonna, over the next few years, there's gonna be quite a few more pop on the scene.
maybe. We'll see.
If I was starting from scratch, that would be a real contender for what to start with.
Yeah.
Especially if you get one that's already got a 5.3 in it.
Well, that's the benefit to them is I hate to say it's kind of cheating, but they're heavier. They're so much heavier. You have ABS, you have an LS already. Pretty much mostly got a box frame, 4-wheel disc.
Right.
It's not like it's a bad platform car. I just don't think they've hit their time yet. I still think we're in the era of what we would classify your C10 era. Because there's so many of them. Gosh damn, they're so fast.
And cool looking.
Yeah, they're cool. It's cool to see an old, muscle car, an old pickup, work around the track. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, what we got coming up next?
Coming up next at the end of September in Nashville, Tennessee.
Yep.
The C10 Nationals. And that should be fun, especially if you like GM trucks.
Yeah.
It's
one of the biggest GM truck owned shows.
Well, and I'd never been to the Nashville Super Speedway till this year. I went to the Autocross where it was almost a Track X for the Autocross. So they do it the same way.
Yes. Yeah.
So
they did last year. I don't know if I'd call it a roval, but it's like the Nashville Speedway road race section, I guess.
Right.
It's not super big, but it's not.
It's for an autocross course. It looked big. At Good Guys.
You can get some pretty good speed there, depending on which way they're having you go.
So that should be, from a driver or a spectator standpoint, should be some really good racing.
Yeah.
From just listening to you talk about it, it feels like it's almost always really good racing down there.
It's unlimited. You can run as much as you want.
So it's just run and gun wide open.
Yeah. You can literally hot lap as many times as you want.
It's never a bad thing.
Yeah. you're gonna see some fast times because at LS Fest, the only downside of it is when you run a run, you're in grid and your tires are cooling off
Right.
while they're letting everybody else go. But like at Steed Nationals, you can run a run, immediately go back in line, and by the time you pull up to the line, your tire's still hot, and you're probably gonna get a fast
Right.
because your tire's thicker.
Right. And they do the classes there by year, by body style.
They do it by year, but they also, I think they have like a pro class.
Okay.
I think Bench won the pro class last year.
You gonna run the pro class?
No, man, I'm too slow. Too slow. I wish I could say I was a competitor. I'm pro class.
Fair enough.
No, I didn't win my class though.
See, so there, if you have an MBS and you can get it race ready in the next like 2 weeks, come take a shot at Brandon.
Man, honestly, I will say I don't know yet. I don't know yet. I hope I'm wrong. Because I hate racing against nobody.
Right.
Like, I don't want to go to a race, be the only vehicle in that class, and you get you just get a win like that.
Right.
Like, last year when we raced, me and John, you know what separated us? 0.007.
That's crazy.
007. Come on. But yeah, that's what separated us. And that, like, me beating John was 0.007.
That's ridiculous.
Me and him were tit for tat all weekend.
That's in the green truck.
Yeah, but that's the kind of race I want. I want, like, if you beat me, I want you to beat me legitimately.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it takes, I would assume, it takes quite a bit of the fun out of it if
It
you're.
does.
You might as well just set cones up in a parking lot somewhere and drive around.
Yeah, like,
a little faster.
I want to, if I'm there to compete, I want to compete.
Right.
I like, win, lose, draw. I want to run against somebody.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I know there's some guys out there with some MBS trucks that can run in that class. It's just that they can get there. You know, John scattered his motor.
Yeah, he didn't make it to LS Fest. Wah, wah.
Yeah.
I love that truck.
Hunter did good though.
Hunter did great.
New build. Power steering went out though.
Yeah. But he ran Saturday. I didn't see him with no power steering, didn't he?
Yeah, ran Saturday and Sunday with no
And
power
was
steering.
still killing it.
Yeah. I mean, he did decent for, like, I believe he did really good for a brand new build, and that being his really first time going at it and having no power steering.
Right. I was highly impressed with him Saturday after he told me that happened.
Yeah, those guys in front of him will.
Right. Michael, are you excited for the C10 Nationals?
He has a C10 and isn't even want to, like, he ain't even going.
He's going. He's
I'm
going.
going to try to go. I'm going to try to take the truck, but it depends on if I can get it running right or
I know a shop.
not. You know a guy?
I think,
I may know a guy.
Well,
You know-
we'll see how good that guy is.
I feel like
And I don't know how good he is. But
sometimes I feel like we're sitting in a shop.
Yeah.
Okay. So.
no, this is all staged.
Oh, that's those
It's the green screen. green screen.
Green screen. Can you explain that to me later?
No.
Oh.
I did not understand what he said.
Next three of us.
Fair enough.
So if your C10's issues gets sorted out, you're gonna take it?
I'd like to take it.
If
Not the computer or anything.
Right.
Oh yeah, I mean it's a cool truck.
Yeah.
Mm,
It's a
Yeah.
75 for those wondering.
Yep.
You're going regardless whether the truck's sorted out or not.
you know,
I mean-
go ahead.
Technically, your new truck, the Daily Driver, can go in.
Can it?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Cool.
So there you
Does
go.
that mean I got two C10s?
That's pushing it a little bit. I think they're just trying to be inclusive to all GM trucks,
No.
all full frame GM trucks.
Right.
Yeah. Don't push it.
Are S10s allowed?
No.
No,
Just
Full size.
full truck. Well, you can. I was gonna say I'm so glad that I didn't call Jeff Combs truck this.
Oh God.
And if you ever get to see Jeff, or when you get to see Jeff's truck, it's an all orange. I think it's 69 C10, almost like Duke's has one. But I know what we're gonna name it right now. Pumpkin spice.
Pumpkin spice. I like it. Should I go ahead and make a sticker?
Yes, you should. You absolutely should. Free hugs with pumpkin spice.
We can put the free hug sticker on the C10.
That's true. Mike still needs 3 more hugs, guys. I'm just letting you know.
Yeah.
I got 2 people that showed me pictures, and I actually witnessed one of them taking the picture while they're hugging Mike.
That's another thing. Let's talk about friendship and people doing things to help you out.
How the hell does that got to do
No,
with LSS?
It's getting there. I stayed up late Thursday night. Or when was it? I don't remember. I stayed up late one night making stickers to put on Mike's new tailgate to promote the podcast and other things. I made him one to help promote the hugs.
He
Just a
did not
simple.
seem like he was happy about that.
No.
As much as he was.
I made him a very nice free hugs decal. While I was putting the other stickers on, he took it.
It blew away. I don't
And
know
I
what
haven't
happened.
seen it since.
The wind picked up.
I'm just saying, somebody takes time and does something for you for free, you should use it. At least give the illusion you're going to use it.
It could pop up at some point.
I mean, if it does, then I'm going to make one pop up at some point.
Right. I'll make them all day long. We'll just. Speaking of which,
Big hug guy.
how was
He's a
your
big
hugs?
hug guy.
Did you get 2 or 3? 2. How was your hugs?
They were quality.
Quality hugs.
Quality
You
hugs.
heard it here. Mike loves the hugs.
Yeah. Guys, we appreciate you giving him quality hugs.
It's about quality, not quantity.
Oh, why can't you have both?
You just can't have both. Not all of them.
Not at LS Fest, but at C10 Nationals, you can possibly have both.
Hard to say.
You guys want to wrap this up?
I don't know what this is.
That was my crystal ball.
Oh. I feel like you're having a military flashback. Like giving a knife hand.
Mike will get hugs.
Coming back.
There you go. So, C10 Nationals, don't forget your hugs with Mike.
Yeah.
Photo evidence.
Or forget them. It's fine.
No, do not forget.
You can forget.
Mike.
It's okay.
And hold on, we gotta do one.
It's getting real.
Guys, listen. This is our enemy. Okay? We need to stay away from this. Look at this. Study this. Stay away from this. Okay?
Why don't you show them the other side?
No.
Where somebody didn't stay away from it.
I did not stay away from it. I went all the way back to the pit with me underneath the truck. Okay?
Side note, did anybody see the picture of Vice Grip Garage DeLorean with the 2 or 3 cones shoved up underneath?
Yes. Yes.
that made me
was
so happy.
dude. That was a cool door. I got some pictures of that DeLorean because my son loves Back to the Future.
Right.
I didn't realize that LS. Obviously, I knew it had LS in it.
I think it is LSA, isn't it? Isn't it?
Yeah, it was LSA supercharged.
Yeah.
That one was? I know the other one was.
Yeah.
Might have been the other one.
Oh.
There
I don't
was
think it is
at
that
least
cars.
one, maybe 2 DeLoreans at LS Fest with LS in them.
Yeah, I saw that picture and I busted out laughing.
I was hoping to see the sticker on the back of the car that says, when this thing hits 88 miles an hour, you're going to see some serious shit. I think that guy needs to make that t-shirt and start selling them.
That's probably a good idea.
Yeah, LS powered DeLorean. When this thing hits 88 miles an hour.
Well, guys,
It's been fun.
it's been real and fun.
Not real fun.
Heyo. Mike, you have any last words?
I'm good.
All right. Well, thanks for watching. Hope you check out the next one. See y'all.